we won't move that. All right. Hello, everybody. Hi. Hello, guys. Who do I have live with me now? I wonder if I will be able to see comments. Welcome to this week's edition, a day later than my regular time, of Coffee Chat with me. I am Catherine Oster, and I am... Hey, Shauna, it's you. Hi, how are you? Thanks for joining. So yeah, I'm Catherine Oster, and Coffee Chats are all about, you know, exploring, discovering, living, choosing life consciously, uncomfortably, living on the edge. And so if this is your first Coffee Chat, I am grateful for you. Thank you so much for showing up and watching or listening wherever you're finding this video. And I talk about the tools of Access Consciousness and applying them to your life, using examples in my own life. And so this week I'm going to talk to you guys about discovering new things about yourself. And I'm going to talk about it with regards to bodies, my body in particular this week. So I am currently doing a 6-week program, changing my eating habits, eating healthier, eating cleaner. Hi, Constance. Hello, how are you? And just starting actually the middle of week 4 right now. So there's a week and a half left. And so what I've discovered with my body is it's really amazing, first of all. I would not have said that about my body like 5 years ago, though. 5 years ago, I was very frustrated. 5 years and beyond. Really frustrated, always judged my body harshly for how it wasn't and how it was, and really tried to change things with it from the space of judgment, which doesn't work. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey. So before I had kids, my weight was usually about 180, 185, right around there, pounds. And, you know, I'm a taller person and I do a lot, so there's some muscle. I did judge that as well, thinking that I always weighed too heavy, too much. But anyway, that was where I would usually stay. And then I had kids. Hi, Michelle. I got pregnant with my son, Trace. He's 11 now, so this would be, 12 years ago. And gained like 50 pounds. Like, holy moly. So that put me at about 230, 235 pounds at my peak of my pregnancy just before I had him. And there was a lot of different things going on with my body, anyway, had Trace. I think he was like a 9-pound baby, literally only lost about 10 pounds after I had him. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I felt so, plus being a new mom, and Trace wasn't an easy, content baby. I mean, he wasn't bad by any means, but he required a lot from me. And I was just lost. Like I was frustrated. There was so much judgment with the size of my body, and everything was different. Like things that I could do with my body before I had a baby were so different after. Anyway, so about 2.5 years after I had Trace, I found through a friend, Visalis protein drinks, meal replacement drinks. And I tried a shake and it was really good. And so I just went on that program and lost about I got back down to 185 pounds. So lost 35 pounds within a few months. It came off quite quickly. And I felt really good about it and it was great. But it wasn't sustainable actually, because anyway, it wasn't sustainable, obviously. Got pregnant again with Helena, gained back the weight. I think with Helena, I think I got up to about 220, 225. So not quite as extreme as Trace, but you know, like still significant amounts. And had her, and still, you know, I struggled for years with that weight again with the pregnancy. And I tried going back to, it's so weird, I tried going back to the Visalis meal replacement drinks, but they were disgusting. Like I couldn't even choke them down. That was not going to work again. Nuh-uh, that wasn't going to work for my body again. And so I really worked on over, because Helena's 8 now, so over the following years after that wasn't working, I tried so many things. Like, okay, I'm sorry guys, I'm just gonna have to move to another place so I don't lose my signal. It's so nice and cool in the basement. Anyway, so I had Helena and gained, like, you know, it was a few years, okay, trying to lose weight from judgment and forced an effort, thinking that I should, and really judging that my body was so much larger than I wanted it to be. And yeah, that didn't work at all. So then I found the tools of Access Consciousness, and I really had discussions around and starting to practice getting out of the judgment of my body. Really getting out of the judgment of everything. But my body was probably the hardest thing. Really starting to cultivate gratitude for my body, regardless of what size or shape it was, what it wasn't. You know, we talked about in Access Consciousness, we talk about having intimacy with you and your body. Really, I really dove into that. And it took me years of catching myself when I would go into judgment of my body, starting to discover things, being on an adventure with my body. Anyway, and then, oh, this was probably a couple years ago now. And then Travis, my husband, he also, you know, overweight and wanting to change that for himself as well. He also gained pregnancy weight with me. And so he started doing some research about going on a keto diet. So high fat and like no carbohydrates or sugars. And when he first told me about it, I wanted to punch him in the face. Like, and he wanted me to do it with him. And I'm like, no, that sounds stupid. I could never do that. And really, I had a lot of resistance to it. And I noticed that right away because I, you know, was just noticed how much resistance I had to this. And then I'm like, okay, fine. What do I have to lose? Give it 6 weeks. I'll do the keto diet with you. And we both lost a lot of weight. Like I got back down to my 185 again. That was great. Feeling really good. But again, it wasn't really sustainable. So that was probably like 2 years ago. And then over like, then there's lake life, and then there's just life. And then I just let myself get lazy and going back to eating a lot of unconsciously, right? Chips, and I love chocolate and hot dogs and pasta, and like so good. Now, I never want to not include those things in my life, but the weight crept back up again, and getting to about like 215, and I wasn't pregnant. But so I'm like, okay, what is this really? You know, what would it take for me to change this again? And again, I tried reverting back to the keto diet, as if that was going to work again. But no, like I couldn't even, no, it wasn't going to work. Couldn't even choke it down. Couldn't even force myself. And then I was just chatting, like, you know, finally really not judging myself. Like, you know, I'm cool. I have clothes that fit me at this size. That's great. And my body, for the most part, is pretty great about carrying weight. Like it carries it kind of all over, like not just in one area. And so it was fine. And then my friend was telling me about this 6-week healthy eating program that she was doing, and it kind of intrigued me a little bit. And then she asked me on Facebook Messenger if I would want to join the next program with her, and it was coming up really fast. And I had resistance to it. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And then I'm like, okay, Catherine, noticing the resistance, what if I chose this? What would this create? So I chose it. And here I am 4.5 weeks in, lost probably about 15 pounds. How does it get better than that? And there's still like, 2.5 weeks left. So we're 3.5 weeks in and 2.5 weeks left. And I wonder, what would it take to lose another 10 pounds? What I've really discovered with this program is it's really inviting me to discover new things with my body. So it involves drinking 4 liters of water a day. 4 liters of water a day. Now, I am not a water drinker. I'm a coffee drinker. I love drinking wine and cocktails and not so much water. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to do it for 6 weeks and see what starts to change. Now, I have to be so conscious about the water. Like, really, I feel like I'm drinking water all the time, all day long, especially in the beginning, going to the bathroom a lot. It was painful, but I'm like, no, I'm committing to this for the whole 6 weeks. We're going to do this and see what shows up. See what choosing to drink this much water with my body creates. Well, one thing that I'm noticing is I have more energy. So that's cool. And now 3.5 weeks in, I'm not going to the bathroom nearly as much. And I actually really enjoy having the water. And it does make you feel fuller. And so there's no sugars. So really noticing how sweet strawberries taste when you haven't had sugar for like 3.5 weeks. Like, really, they're delicious. And then these new recipes that we're trying are like light up my taste buds in different ways. Like, I'm choosing meals that I never would have chosen before. Like, it's really fun, actually. It's like a whole new adventure. So if you notice the energy of this, I'm not doing it like, there was a little bit of force in the beginning because I was addicted to unconsciously eating, and okay, but that was something that I wanted to look at changing. So in the beginning, I felt like I was having to force the water. I was having to force myself to not eat the unconscious foods that I would be eating. And I'm taking myself, again, like, what is the worst case scenario, Catherine? Are you going to die? Like, when I have to make a tough choice about something, is it going to kill me to follow this 6-week program? No, I'm not going to die. Okay, I'm just going to jump in and choose it and see what shows up. And it's been really cool. And it's really funny because in the beginning, it required a different level of presence for me with my food. So I had to actually plan, like, because it requires you to eat 3 meals a day and 2 snacks. And I don't normally, like, I kind of eat in spurts before. Like, when I was doing my unconscious eating program, I would eat in spurts. And I would never eat breakfast. So this program includes eating breakfast. And I'm like, God, that seems like a lot of effort. And it was a lot of effort. But now it's gotten so much easier. And it's really fun. And I'm discovering new things about my body and how it feels when I eat breakfast and how it feels if I don't. Like, there's been a couple of days where I've missed my breakfast and I've eaten it later, and what I kind of missed about that and what it creates. And so, yeah. So if there is something that you are looking to change in your life, what would it take for you to, number one, get out of the judgment of it? Because change doesn't happen from the space of judgment. Doesn't. And what would it take for you to, well, acknowledge that you're not always the only one going through, tougher things. Like, you're not alone in what's going on. I just had to say that for some reason. And to try making a new choice. And in the beginning, like, when you first start working out, like, the muscles are weak because they haven't been worked this way before. Stick with it. Make yourself commit to something for 6 weeks. Unless it's going to kill you, then don't do it. But if it's not going to kill you, what would it take for you to choose it? So that is my chat for you guys this week. Thank you so much for joining me live. I apologize for the poor internet connection. And I wonder what we'll be chatting about next week. And did you know, if you would like, you can send me questions to chat about, topic suggestions. Would you like more information about tips and tools to change your relationship, your body, your finances, like whatever it is? Send it to me. You can get on my email list and you will get notified of when Coffee Chat is happening, and you can send me questions and suggestions. Alrighty, there'll be a link with this video for that, by the way. Have an amazing rest of your day. And what can you choose today that's different than you have ever chosen before?